Try not to gasp when you see Greg Gutfeld's wife. When Greg Gutfeld met her, he was the new editor of Maxim UK. It was his very first day on the job, but the company had flown editors in from around the world for a conference in Portugal, and she was the photo editor of Russian Maxim. He asked about her the moment he laid eyes on her. 3 days of persistence later, something shifted. What began as a professional conference became the starting point of one of the most quietly remarkable love stories in American media. Greg Gutfeld's wife is far more than just married to a celebrity. Her own achievements and distinct style have turned heads in elite circles for years. Beyond Hollywood glamour or tabloid fodder, this couple's partnership spans over 2 decades, blending mystery and artistry in ways that consistently catch people off guard. And now, with a stunning new chapter recently unfolding for them both, the world is paying closer attention than ever. Are you ready to discover the woman who has captivated one of TV's sharpest commentators and carved her own influential path entirely on her own terms? The hidden star behind Greg Gutfeld. Behind the scenes of one of Fox News' most recognizable personalities lies a figure who has carefully crafted her own narrative, a story seldom told but deserving of serious attention. Elena Musa is a renowned Russian fashion designer, stylist, and former model who had already made a significant name for herself in the fashion and modeling industries before she and Greg ever crossed paths. Celeb lives. She has built an impressive independent career that includes fashion styling for prestigious publications including Venice Magazine, L'Officiel, Design Scene, and Numero. Her presence defies expectations, because while her husband thrives under studio lights and studio audiences, Elena maintains an intriguing blend of prominence and privacy. This deliberate balance has led many to overlook just how accomplished she truly is. Daily Fornex. Elena's life is wrapped in a layer of mystery because she values discretion above almost everything else. She rarely exposes her personal world to social media commentary. Yet those who follow fashion closely recognize her name and her work, especially within the selective elite circles where her influence quietly shapes trends. Rather than seeking the loud applause of celebrity culture, she crafts her impact with precision and style. That makes her all the more compelling, someone who prefers to lead through quiet excellence rather than headline moments. What really sets her apart is how her story intertwines with Greg Gutfeld's soaring media career yet follows a very different trajectory. His world is about sharp commentary and bold television presence. Hers orbits around creative vision and artistic expression. Together, they form a partnership where contrasting yet deeply complementary strengths thrive. From modeling to the Musa project. Elena's journey began far from the limelight she now quietly commands. Rooted in her early days as a Russian model, this foundation gave her an intimate understanding of the fashion industry from its most visible angle, the kind of first-hand experience of style, poise, and visual storytelling that can only come from standing in front of a camera. These early years were formative in shaping her aesthetic sensibilities and professional mindset. Her transition from modeling to fashion styling and journalism marked a significant turning point. After stepping away from modeling, she became a photo editor for Maxim Russia, a role that allowed her to pivot from being in front of the camera to shaping the imagery behind it. Her work there sharpened her eye for composition and visual storytelling, skills she would carry forward into her styling career. It was a move that demonstrated her ability to adapt and evolve within an intensely competitive world. The shift into styling was a natural extension of her interests, but it demanded a different set of skills entirely, creativity blended with strategic thinking. Elena learned how to curate looks that not only appeared striking but also communicated mood, narrative, and identity. Her background as a model gave her a unique insight into how garments interact with movement and personality, a perspective that continues to elevate her styling work above the ordinary. In 2011, Elena pushed her career further by founding the Musa Project, her own design company, a bold entrepreneurial step that highlighted her confidence and vision beyond styling alone. The Musa Project became the space where she could lead creative direction and explore her authentic self through experimental design work. Daily Fornex Celeb Lives. Building a global fashion reputation. Elena Musa's styling talents soon gained recognition far beyond Russia, propelling her into international fashion circles where her work resonated with audiences across continents. Among her notable achievements was styling the August 2015 cover of L'Officiel Arabia, a prestigious publication with wide influence across the Middle East. Securing such a cover role signals a high level of trust in a stylist's ability to produce a compelling and market-appropriate visual narrative. Her impact extended into Europe as well, with work featured in the Paris edition of L'Officiel in 2014. Being a stylist operating at the level of one of fashion's capital cities is no small feat, especially for a figure who emerged from Eastern Europe. Paris remains the proving ground for real talent, and Elena's presence there only reinforced her standing in the global industry. Beyond Europe and the Middle East, her talent reached Asia-Pacific markets too. She contributed styling to an editorial titled Rustic Femininity for the South China Morning Post magazine in 2015, demonstrating her ability to blend themes creatively and appeal to vastly different cultural aesthetics. Her editorial work also includes contributions to Harper's Bazaar Mexico in 2014, one of the most respected titles in the Americas, further evidence of a truly international footprint. As of 2026, Elena continues making waves in fashion through her styling work and through the carefully curated aesthetic world she shares on Instagram. She maintains her presence without ever surrendering her privacy, a balancing act that very few public-adjacent figures manage to pull off with such grace. Fame Shala. A love story that felt almost cinematic. The romance between Greg Gutfeld and Elena Musa began the way the best stories do, completely unexpectedly. They met during a Maxim conference in 2004, where the company had gathered editors from all over the world. Gutfeld spent 3 days working up the courage to get her attention, and despite Elena's initially reserved attitude, she eventually agreed to go on a date with him. Kerala Daily News. What followed moved quickly by any standard. Elena made a bold decision to move to London to be with Greg, leaving behind familiarity for something uncertain, guided only by trust in what they were building together. That choice set the tone for their entire partnership, rooted in risk, commitment, and genuine belief in each other. Within just 5 months of their first meeting, they married in a private civil ceremony in New York City. No spectacle. No fanfare. Just a clear and certain decision to build a life together. Celeb lives. As of 2025, they have celebrated more than 20 anniversaries together, navigating the challenges of Greg's increasingly public career while Elena maintained her own successful fashion career. That kind of endurance in the entertainment world doesn't happen by accident. It happens through genuine mutual respect, a shared commitment to privacy, and a partnership that doesn't require external validation to feel real. Daily Fornex. The chapter nobody saw coming. And then, at the end of 2024, everything changed in the most wonderful way possible. In December 2024, Gutfeld surprised fans by stepping away from his shows for paternity leave after he and Elena welcomed their first child, a daughter named Mira. The birth was announced on The Five by co-host Dana Perino on December 10, 2024, after weeks of speculation about Gutfeld's mysterious absence from the airwaves. Story News. In a statement shared with his colleagues, Gutfeld wrote, "It's with great joy that my wife Elena and I have welcomed a baby girl into the world. Mira is healthy with a real set of healthy lungs." He joked that she had Elena's beautiful eyes, a rare and touching public tribute to the woman he has quietly adored for 2 decades. Hollywood life. Gutfeld also mentioned that as newly minted parents, he and Elena were already teaching their daughter 3 languages, a detail that speaks volumes about the kind of thoughtful, globally minded home environment Elena brings to their family life. Yahoo! After 46 days on paternity leave, Gutfeld candidly admitted that much of the burden of caring for Mira had fallen to Elena, because, in his own words, he is terrible at everything. He described offering emotional support while Elena handled late-night feeds and diaper changes at their Manhattan home. The self-deprecating humor was classic Gutfeld, but the picture it painted was undeniable. Elena, the quietly capable force keeping everything together, even in the chaos of new parenthood. Yahoo! In preparation for their daughter's arrival, the couple had purchased a $10.5 million loft in Soho in July 2024, a 3,560 square foot space where they could raise Mira while remaining close to Greg's Fox News studios. Elena, with her designer's eye, reportedly took the lead in transforming the space into something that was both stylish and family-ready, because of course she did. Yahoo! Private life, public impact. What makes Elena Musa so fascinating is precisely the paradox she represents. She is deeply saturated in the fashion world, with an adventurous flair when it comes to her own personal style, yet she has consistently chosen to keep the details of her personal life away from public consumption. Her social media presence focuses on her artistic voice, fashion, design, aesthetics. Not performance. Not spectacle. The list. In a rare and tender moment, Elena took to her Instagram story to give fans a glimpse of their daughter Mira, a gesture that felt significant precisely because it was so uncharacteristic of her usual restraint. It was the act of a proud mother, not a media personality. And that distinction matters. Newsbreak. Meanwhile, Greg's world continues to expand. Gutfeld has been growing in the late-night television space, and Greg recently crossed over to appear on Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show, a moment that underscored just how far his reach has grown beyond the Fox News base. Through all of it, Elena has remained the still point at the center of his increasingly loud world. Newsbreak. Together, they represent something genuinely rare, a couple that has built two distinct, impressive careers while fiercely protecting the life they have built together. 20 years of marriage. A daughter with her mother's beautiful eyes. A Soho loft filled with the sounds of 3 languages and one very put-out French bulldog named Gus. Greg Gutfeld gets the ratings. But Elena Musa? She built the home worth coming back to.